Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Office Hours. You may be able to hear in my voice, I'm a little under the weather and I'm hanging out here in my PJs. So we're going to do a avatar office hours here today. I didn't want to miss the call. I'm not feeling that bad, but like I said, not camera worthy today. So I appreciate your putting up with just the audio version here, and I will do my best to still make sure it is a an effective office hours call here for you. I hope so. Welcome everybody. Welcome Paul. Welcome Hey, what's up, Ryan? How you doing, bud? I hope you're healing up, my man. Hey, thank you, Titus. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will be just fine, guys. I will roll through it here quickly. I don't get too sick, which is great. I got a good immune system, so I'm sure it'll pass through quickly. But just didn't want to have embarrassing footage of myself sitting in my PJs, circulating on the internet. So, welcome everybody. Thank you for being here. Happy Friday. And you know how office hours goes, I am sure. Hey, Jonathan, welcome. What's up, Data Vines? Welcome everybody. Yeah, so office hours is Q&A. So just fire in your questions into the comments. And if you have anything that is, more complex, needs to be discussed a little more thoroughly to give me context or anything like that, then we can bring you on camera, and you can, have the opportunity to share that way as well. Okay. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. What's up, Lisa? Hello, hello. John, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it, sir. I will be all good. Thank you. Um, so yeah, any questions that you have, go ahead and type them in. I'm also going to check the Moguls Mastermind group. Those are my paid mastermind members, and I want to make sure and answer all their questions. And also for those who attended the boot camp this last week, the Attention Engine boot camp, I'm going to make sure and go through some questions there as well, to answer anything that I can that is remaining outstanding there. I see a couple questions in there, so I will make sure and get to those. Darren Cato in particular, it looks like you got a couple questions in there, so I'll answer those in there as well. All right, first question from Titus says, I want to focus on a functional niche foot in the door offer, roughly $97 a month, and then upsell later. Doesn't seem to make sense to do the R4 funnel. I'm thinking an add to VSL to purchase funnel. What's your approach? Yes. Yeah, Titus, absolutely. And I'm glad that we have the opportunity to talk about this, because I think that some people go through my training and they go through the R4 sales system and they think that the R4 then, that I'm saying that that's all that you should do. And it is not all that you should do. It is the foundation of what you should do as you sell your more complete system-based services. It is the foundation of the conversation of how to do that so that you are having a more strategic conversation with your customers, that you're not just focused on features and benefits of the platform, right? Because that's what way too many people are doing. They're just focusing on the bits and the bytes and the features of high level, and they're not actually having a strategic problem solving conversation with the business owner. And the business owners, they really could care less about all the bits and bytes of high level. That is not what is interesting to them. What's interesting to them is solving their problems and making more money. Very, very, very few small business owners are sitting around worrying about the specific features of a software platform like high level, because they're just too busy running their business every day, right? It's us that are, we're in the software all day, every day. And so we get obsessed with talking about the bits and bytes and thinking about every little feature and every little button and, and all that good stuff. So it is important to be able to have that conversation capability in your arsenal but it is also not the only thing. And for sure, when you are selling something like a $97 a month, foot in the door offer, let's say it's missed call text back, it's an AI chat widget, it's free website hosting, it's something like that, or a free website service, something like that. You don't need to have that full on strategic conversation to sell that. And that conversation will just get in the way, right? If you were trying to make it too much of a conversation, it would just get in the way of the sale. So you're absolutely right, Titus. In the case of selling something lower ticket like that, what you want to do is just have a simpler offer, taking people right to a landing, sales page type of thing, giving them the option to contact somebody if they have questions, right? But you can sell something at $97 a month just very, very directly. And that is more the approach that you should take. Then, as you said, upsell later, that's when the R4 conversation, not necessarily the funnel, although portions of the funnel for sure, but the conversation, then that's when the R4 really brilliantly fits. If what you're trying to upsell next is the full system, which is what I recommend, right? That's the model. Get your foot in the door, however you can get your foot in the door, then sell the full system. And so that R4 sets you up for a conversation where, hey, you bought X is going well, right? Seems like you're getting the benefits of it. Yes, great. And then from there saying, great, well, that's actually one component of an overall marketing system that we have for your business. And, based on the experience that you're having with service X and us taking a look at your account and taking a look at your business, we think it would be really beneficial to you to take a look at the complete system and consider that for your business. And, and then you're getting into the conversation, right? And so that R4 will come at that upsell point. And depending on the service that you're offering, what I recommend is that conversation doesn't happen until you have had success with that first service. You want them to feel like they invested in something, they're getting the value out of that something, they see you as a trustworthy service provider, and then that's when you want to have that upsell conversation. So Titus, I hope that helps. That is the way that I would approach it. And yes, just a much more simple, sending people directly to a sales page where you're sharing the features and benefits of that particular service, giving them the option to speak with you, or to communicate with you in some way, whether it's speaking or not. But I do recommend that you have an option for people to get on the phone with you if they have questions, as well as doing chat and things like that. And one thing just to make sure and expect, Titus, the conversion rate on something like that, if it's cold traffic, the conversion rate on something like that, it's not going to be astronomical. You're still asking somebody to invest in something that is a recurring payment, and that it's still a challenge to sell something like that. So don't expect that, because it's $97 a month, it's like sales are just going to come super easy and conversion rate's going to be super high. It's still work. Where I have found the best success over time is when you're selling those $97 a month services, is when you're selling them to existing leads that already have some sort of relationship with you. Not necessarily a customer relationship yet, but they've been on your list. They've been consuming your content. They've been considering working with you in some way or another for some time now, but they haven't yet pulled the trigger. And then you market through email and, generally, primarily really through email, that you've got this, service offer, and you're pitching it through email, sending them to that sales page. That's, when we signed up hundreds of free website customers in 1 month at Kutenda, that was why. We already had a bunch of leads on our list that hadn't bought from us, and this was a new opportunity for them to buy, to get that entry point with us in a different way. So that's where you'll have your real success. So again, going back to Attention Engine, the last boot camp we just had, it's so important that you're just always building that top of funnel attention awareness and getting people onto your list. That will make selling something like that dramatically easier. Okay. All right. Paul says the AI is badass. It really is, but it seems to not be related to the chat widget. Will the AI function be a separate widget floating around on the website? Okay. So Paul, I think that, hold on one second here. Let me just clear my throat. I'm going to mute real quick here. Okay. I think that what you're going to see is that there is going to be an evolution of the whole chat widget function here pretty quickly through high level. So one of the things that is awesome about the current chat widget is that you're collecting somebody's phone number. And so you can, have that phone number to then call and text people directly, which is awesome. And you want that, right? I mean, it's obviously it's a fantastic strategic advantage to capture that, but it is not as effective for doing like any sort of like real-time chat or anything like that. So the reason why High Level has not been focused to date on a real-time chat function is because they know that most small businesses wouldn't be able to actually staff that, right? So if you put a real-time chat function on the site and nobody's responding in real time, well then, that's a bad experience, right? And so they have intentionally avoided having a real-time chat widget. Now with AI, you can have a real-time chat widget, right? Because it's AI that's responding for you. So you're going to see them roll out a real-time chat widget that we'll be able to offer customers here quickly. So that will evolve, and that will, that real-time chat widget, it will have, very similar functionality to what you see in there in the AI today, where it says, hey, you can actually respond to these things live, or you can be coached by the AI, or you can just let the AI, take it and run with it automatically. Which is, obviously what most businesses will do and prefer once they trust it enough to let it. And so you'll see that coming, and then but it won't. I don't think it will be presented as a separate widget. I think it'll just all be one chat widget here going forward. And I'm sure what they'll do is in that chat, they'll just have a slick capability to also get somebody's phone number, email, things like that. Which, the AI will handle brilliantly, right? It'll just say, hey, Paul, nice talking with you. Would you mind giving me your number so we can follow up with you, right? And it'll just ask, and somebody will type in their number, and that'll be that. So you'll see that coming here real quick. And again, it'll just be whatever it turns out to be. It'll just be one widget, I'm sure. Christy says, group meeting at UpLevel at Level Up Summit. Yes, absolutely, Christy. We will definitely do that. I'm so excited to meet up with people in person at this event. I love it. I love that you guys are going. And I will absolutely organize something there. I've got to just finalize some stuff with my schedule, and then I will get that out to you guys here ASAP. It is such a fun event. My gosh, last year was just so good. I mean, it was their first event, and it was so good. They did such an amazing job. And the conversations and the meetups that you get to have with your peers there and stuff, it's just so valuable. And I'm just really looking forward to it. So yes, absolutely, Christy, we will be doing it. Saw the new workflow design this morning. Yeah, they are. So between now and Level Up Summit, I know a little birdie has told me that they are rolling out an astronomical number of upgrades before Level Up Summit. So they'll be able to show them off at the summit. They did this last year as well, but now they have, gosh, I want to say, guys, that High Level has something like 500 developers now. I mean, that's insane, right? That is a crazy number. So they are working at just an unbelievable pace. And I think that you are literally, this is not an exaggeration. I think that you are literally going to see hundreds of updates between now and Level Up Summit, and probably most of them coming right, as we hit Level Up Summit, and they can announce them there, and make it a big deal to announce them there. But I mean, literally hundreds of updates coming. So it's pretty stinking wild. Yeah, this is the bird named Sean. It is weird, Dorn, that the bird had a name and its name was Sean. That's right. um, let's see here. I have two peeps that want to join my software. Had a few conversations here and there, and I'm going to join you like Monday. Awesome. Also, I joined a BNI group and I'll go there Friday. What is your advice on this? Awesome. Congrats. I mean, that's good. You're getting some momentum and having some conversations. That's awesome, Daniel. My advice on BNI, boy, that's a good question. And I may not be the best person to ask because my experience with BNI was not a good one. And so I only participated in it for a very short period of time. And that was a long time ago. So my opinion is probably not real valuable to you. Other than just to say that, it's an opportunity, obviously, to meet and connect with new people. And I think anytime that you're in a situation where there's like some sort of expectation of kind of lead swapping, like BNI has, I would keep in mind VIP sales and marketing at all times, right? And so, Daniel, if you haven't been in any of my sales training yet, VIP is kind of my core sales and marketing philosophy, if you will, which is the V stands for add value. Okay, so the first thing that I think that you should be focused on in your sales and marketing is adding value. And I think the same thing when you're in BNI and you're doing any sort of sharing of leads or anything like that is try and just do your best to add value to the people that you're meeting with. And that can be obviously by giving them leads, but it also just may come in some other form, right? That you can stand out by adding value to them. That could be like, Daniel, you could let, some of the members of your group, use the software for free for a period of time or something like that. Let them have accounts, let them have lifetime discounts on the accounts so that they can use them for their own business and get a sense of them. And then they'll, you'll be giving them value. They'll feel more comfortable than referring you later, like things like that. You could do, something along those lines. It doesn't have to be that, but I'm just kind of brainstorming here. The other thing is, I just think that anytime anybody is sharing their contacts with you, right? If I am referring you to somebody, I just think it's always so important to keep in mind that they're taking a risk there, right? They're taking some reputational risk by introducing somebody to you or introducing you to somebody that they have a relationship with. And so I think just really doing everything that you can, just making sure that you're doing everything that you can to uphold the reputation of the person that's introducing you. So making sure you're following up on all the things that you're supposed to follow up with that person they introduced. Make sure you're, showing up for the meetings on time, showing up for the calls on time, like just all those little things so that the person that's taking that risk feels like you're being, really respectful of that situation. So, because, I've introduced people at times, and I'm sure I'm guilty of this at some point as well, where somebody introduced me and then I didn't do a good job following up or, something like that. And you just feel like, oh, like I just introduced you. And that, that then leaves a bad taste. Right. So yeah, awesome, Daniel. Well, good. Well, good luck with it for sure. And keep us posted on how it goes. Jim asks, do you still use ClickMagick? I'm asking because it's listed on your leverage resources page, but there's a link on your site. I forgot where that's broken, but ClickMagick says page no longer exists. Oh, I will check that out, Jim. Thank you for letting me know. Yes, I absolutely still use ClickMagick every single day. Um, it is. I feel like it's like even though I have it up on my resources page, and I tell people about it, I feel like it's one of those things that almost nobody knows about, and I feel like it's like the secret of the internet to me because I have used it every single day for like a decade now. Um, and it's so helpful. It's so useful. I use it all the time, Jim. It is a fantastic service. It's got a lot of capabilities to it now that it didn't have. So it's quite sophisticated in terms of your ability to do tracking and split testing and all that type of stuff. Um, yes, it is a phenomenal service. So, and I will check out that link, but absolutely, I know for sure that the service is up and running. I'm in it as we speak. And let me just see here if I have, I think that I have an affiliate link to ClickMagick, I believe. And I can just see if that actually works here real quick because I wonder, it just makes me curious if that's the link that I have up there. Let me just see. Yep. Yeah, it's working. So I'll just drop that in here real quick, Jim, if that helps you. And obviously it is an affiliate link, so just being transparent there, but it's labspecial.com/clickmagick. And it is with a CK at the end, just like the click, So that is, that's an affiliate link to ClickMagick. I just checked it. It does work. And that is, it is a phenomenal service. If people are not familiar with it, I highly recommend that you check it out. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife of a tool for anybody doing anything on the internet, in terms of, particularly in terms of sharing links, right? Which is that is the internet, right? That's how things work, is that you share links. And if you're sharing links, ClickMagick gives you the ability to track those links very effectively, to make them prettier links, right? So this labspecial.com/clickmagick instead of some big ugly affiliate link. And it also gives you lots of ability to do split testing, ROI tracking of traffic, campaigns, things like that. It's really super valuable and super affordable. And I've just never had any problem with it. Whoever owns it, I think has just done a really, really, really nice job of just continuing to add value to the tool over years. And it just never goes down. I never have any problems with it. I have used it for, like I said, probably a decade now. I have no clue who owns it, no nothing. I have no clue how I even found it or anything like that, but it's just a phenomenal service. So I hope that's helpful to you. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it, Jim. Thank you. Let's see here. Daniel says, one more thing, Mike, if I may. Sorry, no problem, Daniel. That's why we're here. I have 4 days to get all my things online and set to launch. Is this possible? Is it possible, Daniel? It's possible. I think that, to do that, you're going to have to spend most of those 4 days, working on it. And you are also hopefully have some sort of at least familiarity with, websites and using tools like High Level and stuff like that, just kind of understanding how workflows and automations work and all that type of stuff. If you have that kind of experience and comfort level, and then the time over those 4 days, you can make a lot happen. But if you don't have any of that experience, you're starting from absolute scratch, like you're going to, go through the high level setup process like any other kind of really brand new rookie, then probably not. Okay, good. It says Daniel says, yes, you have that. Then yes, Daniel, I think that you can do it. I think that you just need to, like I said, you're probably just going to have to put your head down and plan on investing a good amount of those 4 days to kind of knock everything out. Okay. Um, let's see here. Oh, can I screen share? Yes. Stack of questions about applying the leverage SCS material. Yes, absolutely. Let me grab the invite link. So here is the invite link. I'm going to put it in the chat, and you can use that to come into the presentation area here, and then I will let you share your screen, okay? While you are doing that, let's see here. John Lee Thomas says, does your promotional link for the Go High Level extended 30-day pro trial include the special training by Mark Crouch? I think you mean by Michael Cooch. I think you mean me. Yes, so it includes lots of my training. The way that my bonus is set up, let me just go here. Let me share my screen and just make sure that you can see here. So sharing my screen here, if you go to servicesthatscale.com/high level bonus. Oops. Okay, high level bonus. You'll see my bonus page here. And you can see I've got the normal 14-day trial, and then I've got a 30-day pro or SaaS trial. And I know there's confusion here, but people oftentimes ask for the 30-day trial. So I went ahead and put the link here as well. The difference between the normal trial and the 30-day trial, just so everybody is well aware, because I find that a lot of people are not really aware of this, and I think it's a little bit misleading. Because people are out there telling you, oh, I've got a 30-day trial. I've got a 30-day trial. Use my trial. Don't use Mike's because his is only 14. I've got a 30-day one. Well, but they don't tell you that at the end of that 30-day trial, you are going into a pro plan. So it's at $497 a month, okay? Whereas the 14-day trial goes into the $97 a month. And then once you're in that $97 a month, you can upgrade to either of the plans at any time. So whenever you're ready, it literally only takes a minute to upgrade. So what I generally recommend to people is just do the 14-day trial to $97 a month. And that way you have the flexibility of deciding when you want to upgrade and what you want to upgrade to. If you want to upgrade to the $297 or the $497, then you can do that, or $495. Thanks. You can do that, at any time. So that's generally what I recommend that people do. But you can do either one. And yes, they both get. I give the same bonuses to everybody, no matter what plan you sign up for, because I want you to have everything that you need to be successful, right? I mean, if you have everything that you need to be successful, then you shouldn't be on the 97 plan for very long anyway. And you'll get upgraded, right? You'll upgrade and I'll benefit and you'll benefit because you'll have all the training you need to be successful. And so we'll both win. So I give you everything. You do only get access to certain things during the trial. And then once you're a paying customer, you get access to more. Okay. So John, you can see right here, here's what you get during your free trial. Okay. So this is everything that you're getting during your free trial, which is a ton. Okay. It is a ton. You have so much to use and learn and work with during your trial that, you could never possibly run out of stuff to do and learn here through this, right? But that being said, when you are done with your trial, that's when I give you access to High Leverage Agency, which is the program where, it's more complete. I'm doing live training calls with you, things like that. So that is after the trial. Whether it's a 14-day trial or a 30-day trial, it's up to you. You can also end the trial at any time by just saying, okay, I'm done with the trial. I'm ready to be a customer. You can just go into your billing and just say end the trial and start paying for the system to have its full capabilities at that time. And then you'll get access to all of my additional bonuses at that point. Okay. So you can do, whichever route is best for you. And hopefully that clarifies. If you look on the page there, you'll be able to see that list of the things that you get first, and then the things that you get after. Okay, after the trial is over. All right, Brittany, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy Friday. Michael Crouch is his big brother. There you go. Titus says, thanks for your answer, Alpha. Are there weekly high-level agency mogul calls planned? I can't find them in Circle. Titus, so let me go to Circle here real quick. So what I am doing this quarter, Titus, and this is always a work in progress for me, and it has been for years, but I continue to just try and experiment. And what I want to do is I always want to make sure that the calls are really worth your time, and I'm really adding as much value as I can on them, because I consider getting on a live call like this. I consider it a real privilege to me that you guys are taking time out of your day to join me on a live call like this. Like I do not take that lightly, because I don't like to waste my time at all. So I do not like to, hop on live calls, of somebody's, like, unless I really feel like I'm going to get value out of it. And so I always want to make sure that those calls are as packed with value as I can make them. And so what I'm doing now, Titus, this quarter, and this is an experiment and I'm always open to feedback, but what I'm doing is I'm doing these weekly office hours calls. And then during the quarter, what I'm doing is I'm doing more of these boot camp style calls less frequently, but I'm doing them in more depth. So you can see here, this is a 2-hour call, and then day 2 of it is another 2-hour call, and they probably will even run over that. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to go really deep on the topic here to make sure I'm adding as much value as I can in a concentrated period of time, and then letting you have the rest of your days to work on stuff, right? That's the idea. Again, to me, like I know how valuable your time is. I know how valuable my time is. And like, I want to make sure that they're just, like I'm really respecting that. And what I was finding was that sometimes on those shorter calls weekly, one, I couldn't be as prepared as I wanted to be able to, like really load up as much value as I can, like doing that every week. That's a lot to prepare for when it's, when I'm also running my businesses, right? I'm not just sitting around preparing for calls. That's not the only thing I do. And so, that's tough to do every week and make sure that you're really prepared with good content. And so this gives me more time. And, so that's what I'm doing. So Titus, sorry, long answer to your question, but moguls here on the left, you'll see moguls calendar. You click on there and you'll see the upcoming tab. And then if you want to go through any of the past calls, you can go to the past and hit these links here, and it'll take you right here. You just go to YouTube and watch the replay of those previous calls. Okay, so that's how you find those. All right, and let me go back to, so Matt, I see you back there. You ready to come on? You just give me a wave of your hand if you're good to go. Awesome. How's it going, Matt?
Hey, good. Thanks, Mike. Nice to meet you.
Good. Nice to meet you.
In person,
How can I
so to
help you?
speak. Yeah, thanks. So actually, it's a good segue from what you were showing in terms of the links and so on to get started. Because I've been through a lot of the material and like taking good notes and into high level and working on getting started. And so I really loved all of the conceptual stuff, like building up, here's the way to think about how high level fits in, and here's how you sell it, and here's how you just think about all that, and here's why it's set up the way it is. And then I was trying to like rubber meets the road, like apply it, and looking forward to that. And then sort of like a screeching halt. I wasn't quite sure if I was doing it right or if I was missing something. So I wanted to double check that, just make sure I'm not missing anything and that I am budgeting the right next actions.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing I know, Matt, that I need to do better at, I was actually just talking to a business partner of mine this week where I was asking him his advice on how I can put together more of a step-by-step roadmap for people. And I'm going to try and do a better job of that here over the next month, actually putting together like hey, here's the things to do in this order. It can't be universal to everybody, obviously, because people are coming in with different positions and perspectives, but I'll try my best. But yeah, how can what specifically can I try and address for you here?
Yeah, thanks. So, I mean, some of it was maybe just like it turns out high level. I sort of assumed high level had like their own kind of instructions, and I could just rely on those. And then it looks like they really don't have like a get started, a tutorial, like kind of step by step sort of thing. So I kind of had to work that out with them and be like, no, they really don't expect you to have that. They just expect you to come onto their Zoom and ask questions and maybe have someone walk you through it manually. And then I wanted to make sure that, as I was learning it, like I've got some snapshots loaded and I was like trying to get them hooked up once I got a domain in there, that kind of thing. And then um, I found maybe two spots in the snapshots that looked like they could kind of be home pages. One is called homepage,
Yep.
and then one is like services. It's got like a local agency thing, and it's just real high level. It's not even entirely clear if something is supposed to be for me, for my agency, or if something's supposed to be something I give to, a business.
Yeah.
That's not exactly clear just looking at things. Like the missed call text back snapshot. I was like, is this for me or is this something I load into somebody else's sub account? Like when they buy
Yeah.
that.
And the answer is yes. The answer is that you could use that for both. So you could
Okay.
you could take that and you could load it into your account. You could take it and load it into a customer's account, um, and then each have that same functionality. And that is one of the ways that I guess teach or empower people to use the different resources in there is the best way is to just use it for your own business, right? And just play with these things, and then you'll realize, oh wow, I could just set this up for somebody else's business as well, just like this, using these same capabilities. So the R4 snapshot is really just entirely for you. That is your sales process. It's agency, sales pages and things like that. So that's really just for you. Not that you couldn't take it and modify it and use it in a lot of situations, because it is a pretty universal kind of sales process and structure. But everything in there is really meant for you to use at your agency. And then all of the other snapshots that are particularly in the service blueprint categories that I have, those are all really meant to be used with customers, except where there are also sales and marketing resources in there for you to use for you to market those services too. So there's like landing pages, that show a landing page for a missed call text back service or something. So that's to go on your site and for you to use in your marketing. But then there's a service workflow that's in there that's to be used, with the customer account.
Okay.
You want to go
Um,
ahead and
like, yes, like I found four things technically that seemed like they were sort of home pages, right? Like
yep,
this one said homepage,
yep,
um, but it wasn't set up like in a recognizable way based on everything you would put into the courses. It looked pretty
yeah,
pretty generic. And then these were a little bit more specific. Like they even have R4 in
yep.
here. Um,
So
so
that's just me giving you options, just because there are. I would say there's a split in the community of people who want to look more like an agency in the way that they
mhm,
present themselves, and then there are people out there that want to look more like a software company in the way that they present themselves. And so that second homepage that you showed, that one's that one's meant to be more like a software-y, focused presentation.
okay. And this one, there's there's like three that are sort of like this. They're sort of
Yep.
agency.
Yeah, and those are all just
That's
options of agency site
that's
themes.
these,
Yeah.
right? Um, so am I missing anything, or in order to actually get up and running and like have the website, do I have this step where like I need to build the website, or at least like customize it and make it fit, the offer that the services I'm planning on offering, and
Correct.
or is there something in here that I'm missing? Like the resources are kind of spread out, throughout the material. Like they'll
Yep.
just, sort of spread out, sprinkled throughout the end of a subject or something. So it wasn't
Yeah.
clear. Maybe I missed something, or
No, I think you're good. So if you scroll on the left there,
yeah.
and scroll, so those are all, you're right now you're all in the service blueprints,
Mhm.
right? So this is all helping you use high level as service and market these services. That's everything that's in this section.
Mhm.
If you scroll up to um, let's see here. I'm sorry. If you scroll, well, that's probably why. Here, if you scroll, so if you wouldn't mind minimizing the services at scale service blueprints section there, hitting the little minus dash there, so it rolls back up. Yeah. Okay. If you go into, huh. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the fast start. My brain was thinking I was looking at the high leverage agency program. Okay. This is the fast start. So the other thing that you have access to is the agency sales funnel bootcamp, and there's R4. Yeah. So okay, there's high leverage agency. So let me give you let me step back a little bit and say, if you want to just follow my high leverage agency approach, and by that I mean, hey Mike, I understand what you're saying. I want to sell these $397, $497 a month, system focused services where the intention is to get people onto high level using the system. And that's like really what I'm focused on versus being more of a traditional agency, maybe offering some more custom services, website design services, things like that. If you say, Mike, I want to do your approach, I would tell you, you can just dive right into the high leverage agency program and just go top to bottom through that, and to some degree ignore the other stuff right now,
Okay.
and just go through it. So the other resources that you have there, they are all the material from them is effectively baked into high leverage agency at this point, and high leverage agency is meant to be like, this is just a start to finish, just go through this. So I would jump in there and just go through that program, and I would go to, let's see here, if you can hop into high leverage agency, I'll show you just real quick what I would suggest in terms of, so you can see there is a roadmap right there that is at least an attempt at giving you here's the path to follow. And like I said, I acknowledge I can do a better job of this, but this is the approach that I would recommend, that you spend time understanding the core strategies of the model, why it is what it is, so that you're fully bought in, you understand the metrics, all that type of stuff, and then learn the R4. And in the process of learning the R4, setting up your sales process using the R4 snapshot. And while you're doing that, you're going to learn a heck of a lot about high level. You're going to learn a heck of a lot about setting up the workflows and using custom values and all that good stuff. And that at that point, then you're able to be off to the races in terms of starting selling, as long as you are. It's really based on the comfort level and personality of the individual. And so what I mean by that is that there are broadly two types of people, it seems like, that we work with here. One is, hey man, I'm ready to start selling. Like I'll figure out all the details as soon as I have somebody that wants to pay me some money. I'll figure it out. I can do it, right?
Yeah.
And then there's the other type of person that's like, I want to have everything nailed down and then I'll start selling. And so I am more of the first version, and I recommend that people try to be more of the first version, even if it's not entirely their nature. And the reason why I say that is because there's a sales cycle, right? It's going to take 30 days, 60 days, whatever it is, to get your momentum going and get some people that are interested and all that stuff. And so, because I know cash flow is important for people, I recommend, hey, get that process started as fast as possible, even if you're not 100% comfortable, because you can still be learning and developing your services and stuff as you're selling. But like, just start the engine so that we can shrink that time period to when you get your first customer to as short as possible. So that's what I would recommend that you try and do. But again, I find that there's kind of two people there, and whichever works for you is what works for you.
Yeah, I'd say I'm definitely the former. Like, I'm in sales, and so The main
Cool.
thing I'm excited about is get up and running as fast as possible with just sort of minimum viable.
Yep.
And
Awesome.
I wanted to double check I wasn't missing that, like there's already a snapshot that, maybe already has like the website loaded up with sort of minimum offers, or if, because maybe I was missing it and I could have been started faster, or if I need to have like a development project where I sit down and go, okay, these are the things I'm going to offer. So I have to like design this website and put the text in there and make the pricing page match it.
Got it.
Manually.
So yeah, so what I have left that open enough and flexible enough that people can like, assuming that people would kind of fill in their own approach to, hey, here's what I'm going to be selling and marketing specifically. That being said, that if you go to the our services page there, or you look at the if you in particular, I would say if you look at some of the snapshot pages that are in the R4, there's a pricing plans
Mm-hmm.
page that you could put up, and you could put some prices on it and say, hey, we have a 397, a 497, and a whatever, and not put any more details than that, or not put any pricing on it at all yet, and just leave it more open and more vague, since you're going to kind of figure that out here a little bit as you go. um, you can take whatever approach you're comfortable with there, but you're right in that I have not said exactly just offer these three things, because I think that we need a little bit more flexibility for you guys to determine that. But if you look at that, yeah, that new agency and SaaS website theme, and you go to, you can see that pricing plans page, up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you were to look at my document, my R4 service plans document that I have in the program, I've
Mm-hmm.
outlined, what is it, five or so approaches to structuring your packages that I'm definitely a fan of. You know, like you could kind of take any of the approaches, and I think be good. But I give you, some approaches there. So if you just said, yeah, I want to have something to put up here and run with to get started at least, then you
Mm-hmm.
could take that document and kind of choose one of those directions to take and load it up, load it up on that page.
Yeah. Okay. And then the actually figuring out, what to put on the website, images, text, and making sure that it's like hooked up behind the scenes is still kind of
That's
manual,
up to
right?
you. Yep.
Like go
That
in
that's
and
up to you. And I've
make
done
sure
that
that,
specifically for two reasons.
yeah.
One, because I don't want to have everybody just publishing the same damn website and going, look, now I'm an agency. And
Mm-hmm.
then we have, 700 agency websites that are out there that all look exactly the same. And so I have intentionally like learned over the years, if I put like goofy kind of, images that need to be replaced up there, then people will actually replace them. In most cases, sometimes people just
Mm-hmm.
leave the goofy images up there. But the intention is, yes, that you should go and make it your own. And then the hooking up of things, if you go through the agency sales funnel bootcamp and you follow that process, um, then you are going through and you're doing the final hookup of the things in high level to make your sales process live and make the workflows live and all that stuff. And I have done that intentionally, again, because I know it's important that people actually get into the system and learn how to use it. Um, it would be super easy for me to just offer a done for you service and just turn it on for people. But I feel like as an agency entrepreneur who's basing your business on high level, I feel like people should go through and, you know, learn it enough to at least have that foundational understanding of it.
Okay. Got it. So like this stuff, like the actual website and connecting the right settings and high level is we got to do a little planning step, pick what we're going to do first, and then go, learn how to hook it up and put the words and pictures on and whatnot. And
Yeah.
then it'll be running. Okay.
Yeah, and when you say the planning step, I mean, really, the only part of that that's really, I guess, true is like deciding what exactly you would want to put on a plans page. If you wanted to have a plans page that was live day one like this, then yeah, you would have to do some planning there and make some decisions around that and put something up there. Otherwise, if you go through the agency sales funnel bootcamp from start to finish,
Mm-hmm.
there's really not any planning that you have to do. You just sit down and go through it, and you'll end up with a live sales process in high level for your agency.
Okay.
That one's just kind of a paint by numbers, follow these steps.
Is that one sort of in addition, like you said, high level agency kind of had most of the stuff baked in? It,
High leverage agency, yeah. So it does have most of the stuff baked in. That one has been kept out just because it's I didn't want to make the high leverage agency any more overwhelming than it already is in terms of the volume of information. And I sell that separately and put people through that boot camp separately. So I just left it out and just said, yeah, just hop over there and go through it.
okay. Cool.
And if you go back to that roadmap in high leverage agency,
okay,
I mean,
yeah.
I know what's there, so you don't have to share your screen if you don't want to. But if you go back to that roadmap, if you go through the first couple of sections of high leverage agency first, it's taking you through again the model, overall strategy, core metrics, and all that stuff, so that you're completely, ideally you are then completely sold on that, that model. And then it says, okay, learn the R4 and launch your sales process. So that's where you'll then jump into doing the agency sales funnel bootcamp. And if you were to go down high leverage agency on the left hand side there, if you scroll down just a little bit, it would say choosing your niche, identifying your customer, how to sell. If you click that, how to sell, and then you'll see it taking you through the R4 snapshot and all that good stuff. So it's giving you the overview of the sales process and the sales funnel and stuff in there, but it will be actually going through agency sales funnel bootcamp where you'll press the buttons and turn the screws and all that stuff that makes then high level go with the snapshot.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Yeah, okay. That part slows me down a little bit, like the design part of it, of like, okay, now I got to put stuff onto the website.
Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah, I think it does slow people down a little bit, and I mean, if you go through, there's so much of the content I think that you can just kind of take and run with, but there is yes, the expectation that some of that is stuff you're going to create and put on there, and it's probably a good chat GPT session, right? And sitting down and what I would probably do is I would probably sit down with like the Shook, the short book that's in there for the R4. I would probably open that up and take the content from it and do a copy paste of some of that content into chat GPT and say, rewrite this section, for my website essentially. And just that way I'll have a good foundation of content to work with for you, but you can just take it then and just create, kind of your new version of it.
Okay. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you walking through it for me.
Yeah, you bet. It's good. It's good for me to see it through your eyes and your perspective and stuff like that. So I appreciate the opportunity to do that. And shoot me any feedback because I am really intent on trying to do my best to simplify that and create that roadmap. I know, like I said, I know it's not where I want it to be. It's a first version of getting it out there, and so feedback is definitely welcome, and I will continue refining it.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, the main thing would just be that the way the resources are kind of organized is a little bit like a pile, like especially like say the resource, they're just sort of all there, and it's like they all have sort of marketing names, so
Yeah.
it can be hard to remember like which one fit into which phase of what I was supposed to be doing, and like if I want to go back and check something, or am I sure that I'm in the right place? You know, because they are, especially with like the update from like R4 to like R4 SAS, right? There was a little bit of changes, and it wasn't entirely clear. Should I stay here or should I go back to another one? When I come back to it, it's like, am I looking at the right one? They're not. They're not like in order or anything.
I gotcha. I gotcha. No, I can appreciate that. There's a lot in there. So yeah,
There's
just
there's a lot. Yeah.
yeah, keep asking questions, and I will do my best, like I said, to
Okay.
continue to organize it and simplify it.
Great. Well, thank you
Awesome.
very much. I've loved all the stuff I've learned so far. It's
Oh,
been
cool.
a
Awesome.
good epiphany. Yeah.
Awesome.
And it makes perfect sense. I'm just excited to get started selling that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Good. I love it. All right. Thank
Okay.
you, Matt. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Let's see here. Other questions I see. So yes, let me hop over to moguls real quick. Dorn says the boot camp was stellar. Awesome. Thank you, Dorn. And John Lee Thomas says Michael Crouch did a Zoom meeting presenting the 30-day trial with unlimited sub accounts, which becomes the $297 price point at the end of the 30 days. Huh. So it turns out there is actually, it sounds like a Michael Crouch. And I don't know who that is. And that $297 at the end of 30 days. So that is a possibility that he has set up, you know, that particular offer with High Level. And theoretically, I mean, I think if I were to work with their team, I could probably set up like any type of offer. And honestly, I want to limit the options. Like there's only so many options to have out there, right? And I'm not a fan of the 30-day trial period. So I would prefer not to have a 30-day trial at all out there, but High Level, you know, put it out into the world. And so that's become the thing that people are anchored onto. And the reason why I say that is I understand that people in their brains go, oh, well, I've got an extra 2 weeks now that I don't have to pay. And I understand that that is reality. I also understand, based on watching a bazillion people sign up and go through everything and all that type of stuff, that what happens is that for the most part, people don't do anything in that 30-day trial until the last week anyway, and then scramble and, oh, my trial is about to end. You know, it's like, I would prefer that we just put the healthy pressure on people from day one, and you've got 2 weeks. That's plenty of trial, and just, you know, then you're paying and go. So either, you know, get your butt moving or not. That's my personal preference. Like I said, I can understand the different views on that, but I don't want to put too many options out there into the universe. It's like, I would rather just like, here's your options, go pick one. All right, let me go to moguls here real quick. All right, moguls discussion. Okay, Jonathan says, hi, Mike. I am feeling overwhelmed by the possibilities. Yes, that is a common, I believe, a common thing. Let's see here. Let me just go to, why is this not sharing? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to show the question on the screen and it seems to not be working. 1 second. There we go. Good. Okay. I'm feeling overwhelmed by all the possibilities and lacking clarity on where to start. In your opinion, what is the most essential core service to focus on that would provide the most value? I'm starting with servicing my local area as it fits my budget best. I've been through HLA, gone through the service blueprints, and have the R4 framework ingrained in my head. That's awesome, Jonathan. I love it. Right now, I'm stuck with this initial core offer. I have built a custom AI qualifying bot that can book appointments on autopilot, but have yet to test it with any current clients. The lack of clarity on my core offering has been a frustrating roadblock. Okay. Awesome question, Jonathan. And thank you for sharing that with us because I know that you are not alone. You are not alone. And then Matt, there's your question right there. Awesome. Good. I'm glad we were able to address that in person. Okay. So Jonathan, I'm going to do my very best to answer this in a way that hopefully reduces some stress, but also at the same time, I find is not the answer that most people want to hear. Okay. And the reason why I say that is because I think the answer that most people would want to hear in this situation is, Jonathan, just do this, just offer this service, and you're off to the races, my man. And that would be nice to be able to tell you. My challenge in giving that answer is that I just think that it is not true. That life is not that simple in this business. And so I feel like I'm doing a disservice to people if I just give them that answer, right? And so what I have tried to teach Jonathan, and this is my approach. This is the exact approach that I would take out in the marketplace every single day. Okay. And so hopefully when you hear my approach, you'll be comfortable with this. But if not, I can understand it and we'll take it from there. Okay. So it sounds like you've got the R4 learned really well, which to me, that's a step that most people like don't jump into with both feet as much as I wish they would. Because if you understand that R4 conversation and you're confident in having that R4 conversation, then that really is your core offer, Jonathan. Okay, that really is your core offer. And so what I mean by that is if I'm sitting down with a business owner and well, what do you do? How can you help me? Well, what we do is we install proven marketing systems that will, help you grow your business and do consistent marketing activity, professional marketing activity, following up leads, following up with prospects, all that good stuff, right? So I'm just kind of making this general pitch about these 4 marketing systems, right? It's going to improve your reputation. It's going to help you resell and maximize the lifetime value of your customers. It's going to help you reach new prospects and customers every day. And it's going to help make sure that you stay in front of your existing prospects and customers over time, so that you continue to build that share of mind with them, build your brand, and continue to grow. Okay. So those 4 R's and my conversation around those 4 R's are my core offer. Because the next step, if Jonathan were to say, yeah, I need me some of that, Mike, give me some of that R4 stuff, I would say, awesome. And I would essentially turn on high level for them and go through my surge process of making sure that I understood their business well enough in that surge and set up high level properly to make sure that they're going to get as much benefit out of the system as I can possibly give them, as quickly as I can possibly give it to them, so that they're in there using the thing and they're just hooked, right? And that would be like the ideal situation. So Jonathan, what are you doing right now in terms of these 4 marketing systems at your business? And Jonathan's answer is, man, we're not doing anything, or we're a big mess, or we have a hodgepodge of things that every once in a while we get done. And I would say, yep, that's typical. I get it. What we're going to do is we're going to put in these complete systems, integrated systems with proven approaches and strategies and campaigns built on top of them, so that all 4 of them are getting done. They're getting done consistently, and they're working on your behalf every day. And so when I set that up, it would then again be taking advantage of as much of high levels capability as I could give them, as quickly as I could give them, right? So I would do that in my surge. Now, Jonathan, I understand that offering that and presenting that and fulfilling that is, I think, overwhelming to some people. Like they go, well, Mike, like that's a whole ton of stuff. Like what the heck, like what am I doing there, right? And it's interesting because to me, it's the exact opposite. To me, what I just bought myself there was the flexibility to now just sit down and look at that customer in that surge process and tell them, hey, it's going to be a few weeks to get everything set up for you and all that stuff. In that surge process, essentially go through my R4 audit, look at their business and go, okay, where's this business like really underperforming? Where are they really struggling from a marketing? They have a terrible website. Nobody's picking up the phone when I call, so like I'm just gonna make sure when I set up high level that I really have identified these core capabilities of high level that I'm gonna make sure are turned on, and that I show this customer when I do my onboarding. I show them, hey, look, here are all the things that are set up and working for you now that are going to make a big impact on your business. And here's the training on how to use them, right? And so I've bought myself the flexibility to really tailor that to the needs of that business as I start them up. So that may seem overwhelming to some people. And to me, I go, I just, like I said, I just bought myself the flexibility to make sure that I just can do what I need to do to give them maximum value, right? So Jonathan, if that is my core offer out in the marketplace, and it's the whole R4, it's the R4 conversation, it's having a strategy call with them, things like that, right? The majority of businesses that I talk to every day are not going to be ready for that today, right? Like it's a mindset that they need to have to be ready to, yeah, I really need to fix these marketing systems at my business. I need to kind of go all in to get this done. Like, who can help me? Not all small businesses are of that mindset right now. In fact, the far majority of them are not of that mindset right now. Like, if you sat down with 100 business owners and said, right now, are you ready to go on this and solve this problems and pull this trigger? The majority of those businesses would say, no, no, I'm too busy with X, Y, and Z right now. And I need to, I need to, focus on this other stuff. But man, my website sucks. I need a new website. Like, if somebody wants to just fix my website, awesome. Can you make it, can you make it better? Can you make it rank higher? Right? Like, that may just be their mindset. It's like this one-off problem that I would like to have solved. And so that then, Jonathan, is where I would constantly be marketing a variety of these foot in the door offers that are captured in those service blueprints, right? So I would be offering, hey, we can give you a brand new website. It's mobile optimized and has all these functions and yada yada. So if you're ready for a brand new website, contact us, right? I would also be offering, hey, did you know that you're missing, the average business is missing 65% of their inbound calls, and that's costing you a lot of business. If that's you, we can fix that for you really easily. Get in touch, right? And I would sell them just the missed call text back, or I would sell them just the, AI chatbot, or just the whatever, right? There's a variety of things that you can sell, because those are then these good foot in the doors that are simple to understand. They're bite-sized, right, in the brain of the prospect, to just be able to go, yeah, I could use that. I do need that right now, right? It's a much easier thing for them to consume and get their hands around and take action on. So I would constantly be marketing those services as well, a variety of them. And every time High Level comes out with some cool new feature that I could find a way to like make that like a front end offer, I would make it a front end offer and I would put it out there. And there's going to be a certain percentage of people that respond to the, oh yeah, I need a new website. And there's a certain percentage of people that are going, damn it, we keep on missing all these calls. I know we are, it's terrible. And then they see your offer for that and they go, oh yes, give me that, right? So you're giving yourself all these different hooks to catch your fish. And then, just as we talked about with, who was it earlier that we were talking about doing the 97, oh, Titus, yeah, to do the $97 a month and then do the upsell. So when somebody comes in on the missed call text back, what I'm going to say to them is, awesome, look, we've got your missed call text back. Everything's set up, perfectly. Here's how it works. Here's how you go into the conversations feature and the CRM feature in our software to see, where these calls are coming into, where the conversations are happening, where you store your customer information. And at that time, there would be some sort of soft upsell conversation about, what you see in here. are a whole lot of other capabilities of our marketing systems that we don't have activated for you yet because you've just invested in the service. But, here in probably a handful of weeks, once you've got your hands around the service and how it's working, if you don't mind, I'm going to give you a follow-up call and we'll review this, make sure things are working, and I'll introduce some of these other systems that we have that I think would be really beneficial to your business. We don't need to do that today. Let's just get you up and running, but I'll give you a call in a few weeks and we'll have that conversation. Okay. So then a percentage of those customers, then I'm going to upsell into that full R4 conversation and approach. Okay. And there's going to be, in my experience in this business, a good 40% of them or so are then going to upgrade into a bigger service, a more complete service right away. And then a percentage more will be upgrading later on down the road. They're not going to be ready today. No, I'm just doing my missed call text back. Thank you. It's awesome. It's working. I'm not interested in doing all the other bells and whistles just yet. No problem. We'll follow up with you in a quarter. Obviously we're here. We're available to you anytime you need anything. Just give us a call. You know how to contact us for support. You know how we do our weekly training calls, whatever it is that you do for your customers. And, we'll just put a little note in here to reach out to you in a few months and see how things are going and see if that's changed at all. And if it is, we can, talk about these other systems that we have available for you. So that would be my approach, Jonathan, because I'm getting the best of both worlds. I now have the ability to market. Hey, what we do is we put in proven marketing systems for businesses, and we can take this more strategic approach to your business to help you with your business. I want to market that because that positions me as the guide, right? It's not commoditized. It's Mike is a strategic thought leader that can help me with my business. But then at the same time, understanding that's a slower sales cycle pitch. So let me also be marketing the one-off services that get people to take action and come in the door. That is exactly how I would do it. Okay. And that's exactly how I want you to do it in the high leverage agency. Okay. But again, I understand that some people they may feel like that's too big or that's overwhelming to them. And maybe it's like, okay, but what's the one thing I can just put out there? Right. So Jonathan says, so when I advertise, would it be better to market a foot in the door service or the core service? The answer, Jonathan, is yes, both. The ideal to me, and if you go through the Attention Engine Bootcamp, I kind of talked about this a bit, which is that you should always, in my opinion, always be showing thought leadership. You should be putting content out there that shows the thought leadership. You should be offering to do the strategic calls and things like that all the time. Because that is positioning. It's positioning you in the market as, wow, this Jonathan guy has got some smart stuff. And at some point or another, I should probably be sitting down with Jonathan and having a call about this, right? But at the same time, marketing the foot in the door services so that you're putting the easier hooks out there too. Ideally, you would be doing both at all times, okay? But if you said, well, yeah, but Mike, I've only got $20 to spend and I would like it to have the best chance at getting an ROI in the short term, then market the foot in the door services, advertise those because they are easier for somebody to take action on today. They're just simpler, again, to get their minds around what this is and take action on it. So they will be more responsive, a more responsive thing to advertise. But again, what I would love for you to be doing is both. Okay. And then Jonathan, if you can tell me, is there a particular niche that you're targeting, or are you targeting just businesses in general? Because that might also help me say, oh, in that niche, I would really be offering, this service has a really attractive, value prop in that niche. That might help me give you a little more tailored answer. But if you're just generally, going after small businesses in your local market, I would do exactly what I just told you. Okay. And I would just be going through the rotation of those foot in the door offers at all times. Okay, cool. Western Mass. Awesome. Yeah. So Jonathan, I would just be putting out there that variety of front end services, foot in the door services. like literally just on a calendar. Like this month, I've got my website offer, free website service going out to my list. Next month, I'm doing my missed call text back. The month after that, I'm doing whatever. And then in terms of ads, I would be running, again, depending on what your budget is and stuff like that for ads, I would be advertising a variety of those services at once to try and have as many hooks out there as I possibly can. Right? If you go and you look at like, HubSpot's advertising, right? They're not just advertising one thing. They're advertising a bunch of different things, right? To try and get, different people, different angles, stuff like that. I hope that helps you, Jonathan. And you are also, if it would be helpful to have a conversation, please go ahead and feel free to use that link to come on screen. And we can chat about it a little bit more. Oh, awesome. That's good, Jonathan. I just put that link in there again, just in case anybody wants to come on. It says I have a couple on my list now to market to on top of the ads. That's awesome. Yeah, just keep it up. Just keep it up, man. To me, this is the thing to get your hands around and understand and feel confident in. Like that approach that I just went through. If you can get to the point where you feel really comfortable with that both, right? With I'm going to be marketing this strategic approach and doing the thought leadership thing, but also putting out the faster offers for people to respond to, you are going to win. Like that's the right place to be. Okay. So I hope that you can get there, because anytime anybody, like when I see, somebody out there saying like, hey guys, just be a lead generation agency, just do that. Sign up with me and I'll show you how to be a lead gen agency. Okay. All of my warning bells start going off because I have seen so many people just be an X agency over time with small businesses. And then what happens is that they're a one-trick pony. They have competition come in, they look exactly alike, they sound exactly alike. The lead generation strategies that they were using for whatever market stop working as well. And they get then, they end up getting to a point where their customer churn is so bad and their business model just doesn't have any depth and breadth to it to protect them. And what happens is that those agencies, those businesses, they tend to just not last long. This is why High Level has been built the way it's been built, because Sean started working with just lead gen agencies, right? That's how High Level started. It started as you for all the lead gen agencies out there, because that's what everybody was being pitched, be a lead gen agency. And I get it. It makes sense. It makes sense because small businesses want more leads. They want more customers. So that's the easy button to tell you, Jonathan, just go out and sell lead gen. Because if you just promise people more customers, that's going to get the best response. Just promise them more customers. Do that, right? And that's true. Like that's what people want, is they want more customers. So if you're out there promising them that, you're going to get more response. And that's awesome. But the reason why Sean ended up then building High Level into the robust platform that it is because he saw that the average life of the customer in those lead gen agencies was like 2 to 3 months. And then they would cancel and they would churn, and those lead gen businesses sucked, right? They would just spend all of their time trying to find their next lead gen customer. And that business model is terrible. Versus if you sell what you need to sell, whatever's the front end hook, but really what you're selling is the system. And you're putting people onto the system, and you can deliver value in a variety of ways. Yes, we can help you with lead generation. Yes, we can help you with reputation. Yes, we can help you with follow-up. Yes, we can help you with all these things, because it's all of these systems that we're putting in place for you. Now you have a much more robust offer, and you're offering a ton of value to those customers in different ways, which makes them just dramatically more likely to stick, right? That's the beauty of that model. And that's why, again, High Level has become what it's become. It's because they realize, man, if we can get them selling the system instead and delivering all kinds of value through it, those customers are going to stick, and it's a win for everybody. So that's the long answer. It's not the easy button answer. And I wish I was more comfortable telling people like an easy button approach, because honestly, it would make my life much easier. I'm just not comfortable with it because I think it's wrong. Let's see here. All right, going back to our circle group here and seeing. So Matt, we already answered. Sean says, during the day 2 boot camp, you discussed online ads. I was wondering, if I plan on selling nationally, then should I target nationally or do one state or region at a time? It's a great question, Sean. And 2, when creating campaigns, should I make each campaign specific to the area, state, and make each ad consist of one specific post? In other words, how are you breaking down or organizing the campaigns? Okay. Fantastic question. So, and Jonathan says, target nationally. Facebook ad likes a broad audience. You can add some interest related to your industry if you want, but your content should call out your audience. Going too narrow will increase your costs. And so this is absolutely correct, what Jonathan said here. Unless you are selling locally, right? If you're saying, hey, Mike, I'm just selling in San Diego, well, then obviously we're going to just target San Diego. And we're going to live with the fact that we are paying for a smaller audience. And so our cost per thousand is going to go up, as Jonathan is indicating here, because it's a narrower audience. But it's just reality, because I don't need to be, advertising in Boston if I'm just selling in San Diego, right? But if you are targeting nationally, then yes, the more broad that you go, the better Facebook will respond from a cost level. And I want to make sure and point that out, from a cost level. Okay. So a lot of people get hung up on cost when they're doing advertising, right? My CPMs on this campaign are $150 per thousand. Geez, that's a huge number. Over here, they're only $20 per thousand. And so what a lot of people do is they go, oh, I'm going to turn off the 150 CPM campaign and only run the 20 because the 20 is lower CPM. Well, that only matters if the ROI from the 20 CPM campaign is better, right? I mean, I'll pay 150 CPM all day long if it's getting me the ROI I want, and I'll pay a 300 CPM all day long if I'm getting the ROI that I want, right? So it's really just about the ROI. Like, are you getting the result from the campaign that you want? That's really all you care about. I could care less if the costs are this or that, as long as I'm getting the result I want. So the reason why I say that, Sean, is ultimately the answer is probably most likely for you to just create a big broad campaign and advertise it nationally. Do as Jonathan said, call out absolutely, the 5th R, absolutely, Christy. Call out the audience in your ads, right? And let Facebook just find those prospects for you, right? Using its algorithm, which it will. And it does like a broad audience. Now, Sean, over time, let's say, and what I just described there, that is also particularly true if you have a relatively small budget. So if you're like, hey, Mike, I'm going to spend $3,000 a month, right? And I want to target nationally. Okay. $3,000 a month, which I'm not saying that that's not any money. It is. I'm just saying it's not a big advertising budget, right? It's a modest, small business advertising budget. Then I would say, yes, just do that one campaign and let Facebook do all the work for you. Like, you really don't have enough budget there to do a bunch of more aggressive campaign structures and testing. You just don't. Like, testing and having a variety of those structures, it costs money. It just does. And that money starts to add up when you're doing a bunch of these more granular campaign tactics, strategies and tactics. The budget just goes up to do that. Okay. So at some point in the future though, Sean, let's say your advertising budget has grown to $25,000 a month or $35,000 a month or whatever it is, right? Your business has grown. You're doing you're doing $1.5 million a year and you're investing, $350,000 a year in paid ads, right? To continue growing your agency. Okay. At that point, again, looking at the ROI, you may start to go, hey, I think that, basically, let's do some tests. I think that if we just created a Southern California campaign, right, where we really dialed in our language and the ads we're using and the topics and the offers and all that type of stuff to like really call out Southern California for whatever reason, right? The businesses in Southern California, even though the costs could go up on a CPM basis, it may be better ROI for you, right? And that test could very well be worth it for you then. And you could end up saying, okay, actually, instead of just doing this broad national campaigns, we're going to start doing more targeted regional campaigns and calling out the audience in those regions for whatever reason. So that may end up being a thing that you do in the future. In the short term, though, assuming you've got a modest budget, I would put together one campaign, run it nationally, let Facebook find your prospects, do its job with its algorithm, and run that playbook as long as you can. Okay. Let's see here. Going back to Circle here, I want to look at, I think I answered my moguls questions. Let me go to actually, let me go to the Attention Engine Bootcamp. I think there were some questions in there. Darren says, should the lead ads be based on your warm retargeting audience? Since those are more expensive ads, I feel like it should not be cold traffic. Thoughts? Darren, I would do both is the ideal situation. Okay. And the reason why I say that is I love using content to build up my retargeting audience and then target that audience with lead ads for sure. But the reality is there's a limit to that. Like your retargeting audience is not going to be so big and so rich with lead opportunities that that's going to be the only place that you want to get leads from, in my experience. So I would also be running cold traffic campaigns to get those leads, but you'll see the cost difference and stuff like that as you run those campaigns, and you can obviously determine like what's worth it to you. But in my experience, I like to have both running. Okay. Mike, you mentioned we should do this locally. Are there any disadvantages to going national besides budget? Should we be targeting a niche or no niche? Okay. Targeting a niche or no niche is, I mean, that's an up to you. That's really like you determining what your business model is, what your business is all about. So I can't answer that for you. But what I can say is that the reason why I have been teaching more like just focus in your local community is because Sean at High Level has said that that's where he's seeing most people find their initial success. He said he's just seeing that the people who get to 10 grand a month fastest starting from scratch are the people that are just selling in their local market. And he thinks it's because it's easier for people to just kind of, wrap their heads around and do, right? Like it's just easier for them to be out and about in their community, going to some of the meetings, going to some of the chamber stuff, shaking hands with some people, telling them what they do. Like that is easier for them to get some initial momentum than it is to like sit down and go, okay, I'm going to run national campaigns into a sales funnel. Okay. And I can see that. I can get it. I can totally get it why that would be the case. And so I have been focusing more on that approach just because I want to help as many people as I can have that initial success, right? Because I think that once you have that initial success, you build on that momentum. You can make some decisions then at that point. Do I want to go outside of this market, and take on a broader approach, that type of thing. So you deciding which of those approaches you want to take is really, it's honestly, it's just, like I said, it's up to you. I think that there are advantages and disadvantages to both. So we can just talk about what those are here real quick. One, if you're just going to sell locally, you've got to be prepared to be able to deliver more broadly. Okay. And so the R4 is perfect for that. Again, it gives you that flexibility to meet with a plumber today and a restaurant, tomorrow, and have the flexibility to just go, well, yeah, but I don't care if you're a plumber or you're a restaurant, reputation, resell, reach, retargeting, right? You need all those things. And then to have the surge process to be able to go, okay, I'm dealing with a plumber here. Let me make sure I've got this set up to be as effective as possible for a plumber. There are certain things that I'm going to emphasize in my service delivery here with high level that is ideal for the plumber versus the restaurant could be a little bit different, right? So you have the flexibility in high level and you have the flexibility in the R4 approach to do that. But it requires you to be okay with that flexibility. Again, some people are not comfortable with that. Some people are like, I just want to set up a thing and sell that same thing exactly the same way to everybody. Well, in that case, then you really do need to pick a niche and say, I'm only selling to dentists, because then I can tailor everything that I'm doing to dentists. And that way, when I know when a dentist signs up, it's going to be the exact same thing every single time, right? So then, though, you do need to probably market more broadly, because there's only so many dentists in your local area, right? You're gonna tap out on dentists pretty quickly. So you're gonna want to be able to expand more broadly. So there's pros and cons there. You kind of have to decide which one is your, what's your poison there? Which one are you which problem do you want to tackle, right? And decide, is the problem that you're more comfortable tackling having the flexibility in your service delivery, or is the problem you're more comfortable tackling being a national advertiser and just the challenges that come along with that, right? Spending more on ads, putting people into a sales funnel online versus being able to, shake hands and bump into people when you're out and about town, that type of thing. That's really up to you. Both work. They really do. Both work. And it's just up to you to figure out which approach is going to work best for you. Okay. I hope that helps. Awesome. I love it. So it looks like I've answered the questions in there. Let me go back to my questions. We've got lots of good questions in here, gang. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Without getting into details right now, do you feel like we can all use this to promote what we were talking about earlier? Without getting into details right now, do you feel like we can use all this to promote what we were talking about earlier? Ryan, I'm not sure. Are you talking about, is this the thing that, hold on here, just to make sure this is what you were texting me about? I got you. Yeah. I mean, messaging me about on Facebook. Okay. I want to make sure I was picking up what you were laying down there. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And we can talk about that. We can absolutely talk about that. Just got off call with a pool maintenance business. What's up, Jasmine? Good to see you. Of 2, and he has no online presence, but still services 90 pools at $150 a month. I'm getting him on a demo Tuesday. Yeah, and finally the salon is a go. Nice job, Jasmine. I love it. Love that you're sticking with it. That makes me happy. So somebody asked a really good question though about, hey Mike, isn't what you're saying kind of against your productized service thing? Okay, so Trinity Sales Partners, thank you. This is a great question. Following up on my conversation that I was just having there, where I was saying, hey, you can sell with flexibility using this R4 approach. And he's saying, but wait a minute, isn't that not a productized service? Isn't it more custom than a productized package? Okay, so I can absolutely see that perspective, but let me just make sure. And my answer is definitely no. It is still a productized service. And let me explain to you why. Okay. So you are still going to have packages that are like $297, $397, $497, right? And they're going to come with these certain benefits included in those packages. Okay. So you're still offering, ultimately, what you are offering at the end of that R4 conversation is still the 297, 397, 497. Okay, that has not changed. And what you are delivering is still a system that is primarily based off of automation and assets using high level and using your marketing campaigns and strategies and workflows and things like that that you develop. So it is all still as productized as it can possibly be. It's just the way that you're presenting it is strategic and comes across as a more tailored approach, even though you're really just sticking in the same product. Okay. But, and this is a big but, is you've got the surge. Okay. You've got the surge at the upfront. That's why I have the surge to SaaS. Okay. What I am acknowledging with that surge to SaaS approach is that the businesses you are selling to, they are different. Even if you're selling to all dentists all day, every day, there is still some customization in that setup that happens, right? Even if it's as simple as we've got to load in all the correct custom values information to make sure that their site and campaigns have their name on it, and their logo on it, and their images on it, and all that type of stuff. So there is always some customization to that setup that happens. The goal is definitely to make it as minimal as possible, but that is what the surge is for there, to give you that opportunity to tailor it a bit to whoever you're selling to and to make sure you're getting compensated for that as well. Okay. But it is still absolutely selling them into those productized packages and as productized of a delivery as possible. Okay. Yes. You're doing both. And so yes, absolutely. There we go. Let's see here. There's San Diego is a great idea on a website. Would you recommend doing the same kind of thing in different cities? Sacramento, San Francisco, Miami, New York. Yes, absolutely. I have a whole program called Local Media Accelerator. Okay, and that it was teaching people that model. I have not promoted it or offered it really publicly in the last couple of years now, and a couple of reasons why for that. But yes, I think it is an awesome strategy. I love it. I love the business. And I definitely recommend that if you are doing anything in the local market to build a media asset in that local market, it will only help you. It will only help you. And the reason why, and I wish people like would just really get this, and a lot of people just don't really get it. But if you are spending $10,000 a month marketing your services, and you're marketing with cold calling, and you're marketing by sending email campaigns, and you're marketing by running ads, right? At the end of the month, when you stop, okay, let's just say you did that for a month and then you stopped. At the end of that month, you would be left with nothing. And I say left with nothing as in there would be no asset that was created. Yes, hopefully you would have a pipeline and opportunities and you brought on a new customer, things like that. So I'm not saying that the $10,000 was useless. I'm just saying at the end of it, you don't have anything to show for it. Versus if you take that same $10,000 a month and do what I'm doing and build a media site, I now have $10,000 of new media site that's built. I have an asset. It's out there ranking in the search engines. It's out there pulling in views. It's demonstration and proof that I can show to my customers and say, look, we know how to do marketing. We know how to get your business attention. In fact, why don't I just put an article or an ad right up here on my site today and get you some attention, right? I have an asset now. That $10,000 for me was invested in building something that continues to hold value and accrue value over time, right? Versus the activities that you did in your marketing yesterday are done and they're gone, right? So I wish everybody would get that because it's honestly, it's one of the most powerful things that you can possibly understand as an entrepreneur. Build an asset, right? You hear me talk about all the time, right? Assets over agency, right? Assets over agency. Okay. And the reason why is because it is a dramatically better model to be building an asset at all times versus just doing activities. So I hope that helps as many people as I possibly can. Took the first approach completely. I have 7 prospects interested, but I have no website presentation. I got them ready. What should I do, please? That's awesome. Good for you. You're just out there hustling and selling. I would recommend, if you are not in the high leverage agency, you should get into the high leverage agency, or at a minimum, get my R4. So my R4 is, we'll give you a sales approach, sales presentation, sales materials, marketing materials, give you a website template that you can, put up a website fast, all that stuff is what the R4 is all about. The R4 is a standalone product. You can just get the R4, but it's also included in the high leverage agency, and it's included as a bonus at no cost if you sign up for high level through me. So, hopefully you can get your hands on that. That would be my recommendation. What about opex and go high level to start with? Daniel's asking. So I think, and this was put in a while ago, 20 minutes ago. I think this is when we were talking about what offers to put out there into the market. Yes, I love opex. I love opex. I love how opex can lead to people then being in and using high level as well. And I think it's a fantastic model. If we go to here, let me pull up real quick. Service package. The service package design document here. So this is the document that I was mentioning earlier when I was talking to Matt. So this is where I show you how I would recommend that you structure your service packages. Okay, and if we scroll through this, you will see, so this is just the big broadly, according to the 4 R's, what are all the things that you could be offering? Not to say that it's completely exhaustive, but it's a good list of all the things that you could be related that you can tie to reputation, tie to resell, right? Here is a fast start package. So if somebody just wanted a basic package that you just put out there into the marketplace that I think is super attractive, tons of value to small businesses, you could just offer web chat lead generation, missed call text back, SMS list building, birthday resell campaign, call tracking, right? And that's on top of they're getting their CRM, opportunity pipeline management, the universal inbox, reporting, task management, all that stuff that's built in the high level at the foundation. You could just put together a package where you're offering just these things and price it at $297 or $497 a month, and including SMS credits and stuff like that in there, right? So that's a simple package. Here's an ABC version, basic, pro, and premium version, where you can segment it a little bit more and show the different price points and why somebody would pay at the $497 instead of the $297. Well, here I get more SMS credits, I get more team members to use the system, right? So this just gives a little bit of structure to how you could grow your average value of your customers. And then down here, you start to see these scenarios where I have baked in opex, okay? So I do not recommend being an ad agency, but I love that you can offer opex as a part of your system and offer ads and campaigns as part of your system. So opex gives you the ability to say, yes, as part of our system, we have a proven advertising engine that you get access to and that you control your ad budget on. So if you decide you want to spend 500 this month, you can. We've got all the ads for you. We've got the landing pages. We've got the follow-up sequences in place. When people, submit their information, we've got it all baked into our system, and you can just access the system and turn on those ads at whatever budget is appropriate for you, Mr. Customer, right? So that way you're including the advertising as part of your system, but you're not an ad management agency, because being an ad management agency with small businesses sucks. It's a terrible model. But offering UpHex as part of your system, I think, is a fantastic model. Okay. And so in these packages, I've given you a couple of different approaches on how you could offer it, when you offer it, stuff like that. And so I do think that UpHex is a great opportunity. And here's a ad management focus. Like I said, even though you're not an ad management agency, what you can do though is you can offer a system as a core part of what you're doing that includes UpHex and includes some campaign structures and funnels and things like that. And then you could upsell a retargeting version of that as well, and helping them with custom audiences and stuff to upsell it a little bit more. But again, it's their advertising budget. This is just them paying for the system, your system, and then they're using that system with their advertising budget to whatever degree they want to. Okay. So yes, big fan of UpX. Paul, thank you. I am not selling it right now, but I do have some plans I'm cooking up. So stay tuned. Where do you gain access? If you just go to servicesatscale.com. So depending on when you say where do you gain access, it just depends on what you want to do. If you want to sign up for a high level through me, go to highlevelbonus.com. You can click on either of these, get signed up with high level, and you'll get access to the R4 right away. That's one of the bonuses that you get right away when you sign up with me. Okay. And if you said, no, Mike, I don't want to do that, or I'm already on high level and I don't want to upgrade through you or whatever, because you can upgrade through me and get access to the bonuses as well. But if you say, no, I just want to buy R4, go to servicesatscale.com/products. And you can see all the different products that I offer here, and R4 being one of them right there. Okay. Obviously, what I would, recommend, if you can, is sign up for high level through me, or upgrade your high level account through me, so you can just get access to all that stuff at no additional cost. That would be the ideal scenario. But if that's not possible, or that's not what you want to do, then you can buy any of the courses there. Okay. Daniel says, great stuff. Awesome. Cool. That was the conversation around UpX and go high level. Cool. I think that I have answered all the questions that I see in here, and we are coming up on 2 hours. Lots of good questions, gang. Thank you so much for all the good questions and conversation. Lots of good stuff here today. So I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. And I appreciate all of your time. Like I said, I don't take it lightly that you choose to come and spend some time with me here, and I hope that I can add some value. And any other questions that you have, please post them in either the public Facebook group or in the Circles community if you're in that, and I will do my best to get to them. And also, we have these calls essentially every Friday now throughout the year, with a few exceptions where I have to change them around for my schedule, but generally every Friday, same time, same place. And so if I can answer anything for you, you will see me here in a week. And then Daniel says, where's your roadmap get simplified 1 month from now? Hopefully not, Daniel. I'm going to be, this is an obsessive focus of mine right now. So I am going to be literally, like this afternoon, I'm going to be diving into all of my high leverage agency content and that roadmap and all of that, and doing my best to be making improvements, every day as much as I can. So that those will be getting rolled out as I make them, not necessarily like just doing a bunch of stuff and then rolling it out a month from now. So no, I'll be trying to update it faster, more frequently, and giving more frequent communication around that, because it's a problem I really want to solve. Like I want to make it as clear and easy for people to reach milestones that show them they're making progress, and encourage them to then continue, marching that path and making more progress. So I, like I said, right now I acknowledge that it's not set up well enough, in my opinion, for people to go, okay, I hit the first milestone. Here's the first milestone Mike said I should hit, and I did it. Awesome. Or I didn't. I'm off track. Damn it. What do I need to do to get on track? Right. That's the kind of clarity I want for people. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, Brittany had to go for a walk, was feeling super sluggish. I hope you're feeling better, Brittany. That is why I'm not on camera today. I think you came late, and that's why I'm not on camera, because I'm a bit sluggish too. So we'll hopefully get through it here quickly. Everybody have a great rest of your Friday, and we will see you on a future office hours call and in the community in the meantime. Okay? Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.